All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to do a review on this guy, which as you can see, this guy is quite nice. And this is what he looks like when you have him in the package, which is the weirdest thing ever. Here is his back. And for me personally, I think it's awesome to actually take a silver Sharpie to his fists and do it. Of course, I'll show you a video of before and after. Sadly, I can't get the back right because I don't have the bronze. So, yeah, that's kind of sad. So, of course, as you guys figure, basically he has articulation. You can bend his arm like that. You can also bend his arm like this, of course, and get the original pose that he did in the box. His legs are bendable, as you can see right there. His foot can actually turn. I didn't know that about the Graphite Ranger and all the other Rangers. But yeah, his foot can actually turn. So there you go. He's kind of sometimes hard to stand. But yeah, so there you go. Of course, again, here's a nice little look-see of him. His paint is very good. The next figure I'm going to show you is going to have sloppy paint, but his paint is very decent. And he stands very good. I like my Graphite Ranger, who actually is a bit whatever. He does come with a blade, a good decent blade that's not bendable, like unlike the next one that you're gonna see. And he does come with this. Sadly, it does not come the way Graphite Ranger shows. And here he is using Graphite Ranger's special weapon. No idea why it's translucent for him and not this guy too, but it would have been a cool Easter egg if they would have done it. As you can see, he can actually sit very good, and well, his head turns. Yep, so there you go. His head turns and everything. Like usual, like I showed in the Graphite Ranger, he can actually shoot his gun on a holster, in quotations holster. You can have it like that, so you can actually have it by his side, but of course, since his leg, it kind of pokes out. And of course, you can have it just on his side like that. Alright, it's time for story time. So I'm going to tell you what his background is in Power Rangers and also the predecessor, Kyoryu or Kyoryu or Kyoryu, which one you want to pronounce. Apparently there's a way to pronounce it. I'm just going to go with Q Realm, so it's Kyoryu. Okay? Screw it. That's how I'm going to say it. Anyways, so with the Power Rangers one, we don't really know for sure. As I'm doing this review, there is nothing that actually says anything. Of course, well, apparently Paris or France, they're going to get it and they're going to finish it very well. They're going to finish freaking Dino Supercharged before us. So most likely spoilers will come within maybe next month. Either way, there is lots of speculations. A few things, I guess two things is going to work. Is number one, it's just basically going to be one person that we don't know who's doing it. And of course, you can see in the bio, it just says the person that actually found Energems has no freaking idea there's other Rangers who found Energems. Kind of like what happened to, I think his name is Alfred, but I bet it's not his name. The Purple Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Charge, that guy. So it's just the same way as him, but yeah. Some speculate it actually is Tyler's dad, which would be cool, but on the other hand, when it comes to the original content, that's a sack of crap, because in original content, if I actually mix it in with what's going on with Dino Charge, what will happen is that Keeper would become the Silver Ranger, and then Keeper has to do something very sacrificial, and that's when Tyler's dad is going to become the Silver Ranger. It could be possibly a spoiler right there, sorry for that, but of course they're not going by the original content, meaning that my speculation or my hypothesis could actually just be null and void. So we don't know who this Aqua Ranger actually will be. That's all I can tell you. Now let's go to Kyoryu. So in Kyoryu, well, you basically have Kyoryu Cyan, and he actually showed up in episode 5 and 6. There was a two-parter. What happened is that he actually was a warrior from the medieval ages. How he knows how to speak Japanese, I may never know. I guess since he's been around for so long, and I bet that's how they got the idea of energems, is because they're like, huh. Even though they didn't read the fine print and actually know that he actually is dead. But hey, Saban's tried to not actually go for dead Rangers. Yeah, they're not. They also try to cover up dead Rangers, so that's why they had to actually make them all alive. So that's why he has gold. That's why he has a gold plate on him. That's why Graphite Ranger has a gold plate on him. They're both actually dead. Of course, seeing the Graphite Ranger figure review, you get to have the whole entire story of him. Anyways, so what happens is that he actually had his companion Enkidan, and Enkidan actually had a monster trying to take over him. So because of that, Kyoryu Cyan, he actually had to sacrifice 90% of his power to go to the Zord so he can fight off the evil bad guy that is within the Zord. And he's been on him for years. Actually, decades, maybe even centuries, it actually has been inside the monster. And he was trying to make sure that he doesn't have full control of the Zord. And that's why I forgot which episode, but that's why you saw the glow of the Anglo-Zord in that episode, is because technically that's what's supposed to be happening, is that there's a freaking monster inside that Zord. So the Pink Ranger of that series actually jumped in the mouth of Enkidan and used Cupid Charger, or Dino Cupid Charger, even though it's not called that in the Japanese version. But she used that one and put the monster under a spell, dragged him out because she fell in love with him and she was following him. Well, he was following her. And because he went out of the Zord, now you have the Kyoryu Cyan Ranger, or I'm just going to say Ranger. Now you have the Spirit Ranger, full control of Enkidan. And now he found out, oh frick, I fell under your trap. Dang it. But now, after so long, thank goodness, he has full power because he actually was depleting in energy. It was eventually just become invisible or gone forever. So that Ranger was in crucial dire need of getting all his power back. So he finally got his power back. Enkidan now joins forces with the Rangers, and of course he calls the Pink Ranger Lady. So he likes her. He gave her the charger, and we actually got to see him morph spiritually. And one thing you should know is that the person who played, or basically the Kyoryu Cyan, he actually is a fat dude. And we get to see for the first time a fat person in a Ranger suit. But since he's a spirit, he's able to condense himself in actual Ranger form. Will we ever see that in Power Rangers? Sadly, no. They decided not to go that route. So that means that, yet again, you have, for Japan, they have now 8 Kid Rangers, 1 Fat Ranger, while we have, what? 1 Kid Ranger. Still, just 1 Kid Ranger. No innovative stuff over here at Power Rangers. That's a big thumbs up. Okay, so what happens in this story is that he goes and finds Kyoryu Gray, and that's why he came, because he decided to go find the other Rangers and the other Zords, and then eventually it comes to the fact of finding all the Ammonite, or the Ambers, and eventually at the very end he actually had to kill himself. Yeah, he actually had to sacrifice himself along with Kyoryu Gray, along with the person who is supposed to be the keeper in that version. So yeah, they all actually sacrificed themselves. But he passed it on, just like what happened with Graphite Ranger, aka Kyoryu Gray. He actually passed his on. And it was so beautiful how he passed it on now, thinking about it. Is that the Blue Ranger has a sister. And guess what happens with the sister? The sister gets to help out in the final showdown as Kyoryu Cyan. Meaning that technically, if we were supposed to actually do exactly what they did, that means we're supposed to have a Kyoryu Cyan female and male version. Along with, we should actually have a purple ranger as well, but apparently they decided to just go with Kendall. Yeah. But anyways, that is the story for Kyoryu Cyan, aka the medieval Power Ranger. There you go. So anyways, this figure, I am not that I actually enjoy it. I enjoy this figure. This figure is very, very good. I know that this figure, well, this figure is not muscly. It looks muscly. It seems muscly, but I think this actually is a good step to the right direction. And I enjoy this figure so much. And the reason why I'm buying this is not because of, oh, it's in Power Rangers Dino Charts. No, it's because Japan never got a release of this figure or even Graphite Ranger, aka Kyoryu Gray. So that's why I'm buying all the odd ones that America actually will, well, not America, but Bandai America actually is going to release, which is very, very cool. I also like will buy the Zords too, especially the American made Zords, which were very, very innovative and awesome. But say get it, don't get it. Yeah, definitely get this if you actually see it. And this one most likely will become very rare. And if you are very smart, you'll actually try to maybe, just maybe, actually try to sell it in Japan. Because right now, I don't even think Figure Arts actually said, hey, it's a good idea, let's do the Odd Rangers too. Which I bet they might have done it. But on the other hand, if they didn't do it, it's a good idea. You could actually profit from it. And I would love to see it go on, you know, for Japan. And it's like, oh my gosh, $20, $3, $100. And it's like, it'll be awesome just to see how that goes. Well, anyways, that is all I have to tell you about this figure. This figure is very, very awesome. And here is just some good steals of them, if not shown now. But anyways, thank you for watching. And stay tuned for another Power Ranger toy review, or at least a toy review. Next up is going to be the Purple Ranger. Sadly, it's going to be disappointing.